Because I did want to kill those men. I seen what they did, what they would keep doing. I know I could end it, but I also know the people can change. Because everyone sitting here has. All life is precious. And that idea changed me. It brought me back, and it keeps me living.
Making it now. You really think you can do that without getting blood on your hands?
I don't know.
And we're back one more week. Oh, there's only one. Oh my God, there's only one more week.
And what could they possibly do now?
Next week? Yeah, I know they kind of gave it all up. Hey, well, really quick, unlike last week, we'll start at the beginning of the show by telling you this is Bring Out the Dead. And I'm Ross Miller. And
I got yourself here, Tony Lamar. I'm all up in this episode.
Man, what a week, though. Everybody finally got their Glenn orgasm on, their Glengasm, I guess it would be.
And it wasn't very original. I mean, we pretty much predicted that was going to happen. I mean,
yeah, we did. And to me, it was they set themselves up with something that could have been done that would have made sense, and instead they did something that was kind of ridiculous. Here's my first complaint really quick, and then I'll let you go on it. When the body of Nicholas was across him,
mm-hmm.
He was a long ways across him. It wasn't like laying flat on top of him type of thing, right?
Yeah.
So that would kind of say that his legs were sticking out the bottom. How come nobody bit on his legs? You know what I mean? It just seems a little bit ridiculous. But go ahead really quick. What'd you think?
Well, the problem I have, I've never seen a garbage can that can fit some underneath it. So right there.
Especially a human, yeah.
I know he's Asian. I'm not trying because he's Asian it would work. I'm just saying that I looked around and I have not found this today. I could not find a garbage bin that tall up where someone can actually get underneath it. So
I know my fat ass can't fit underneath.
No, even my smallest kid.
My big head would get stuck before it. It wouldn't even get to my belly. Shit.
And so their logic was what? That he was able to stab them to block the others from getting in? Is that?
Yeah, I'm not really sure. Now, you want to know what I think they should have done?
Okay, go ahead.
They had the girl, right? Enid.
Mm-hmm.
She could have done something like the same thing that happened in the town. They had the horn that drew them to the town.
Yeah.
She could have done some kind of noise or some kind of something that would have like got the zombies to kind of go and come back like away from that thing and actually shown that something happened. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. As opposed to him just lucking out and eventually them losing interest. And by the time it was done, there was no walkers left in the alley. And it's like, that doesn't make sense. There would be at least one straggler. There would have been one something. There should have been some purpose that called them away.
Well, how long were these there? I mean, they made time go by. Was it the whole time? See,
they said that from the first episode, from when we saw the trailer go over the side in that first episode.
Yeah.
From that point to now, it's only been one day.
Oh, so it's just overnight, pretty much.
This is just overnight, and now this next week's episode will be what happens the following day.
Can someone make this show in chronological order? I mean, I just want to know.
I just want a little ticking time clock, a little stopwatch.
Kind of like 24.
Yeah, exactly. Just let me know where we're at. That's what I'm.
Can you help me out there, please? Would that be so hard to ask?
But I just found that to be amusing because it's like, come on, they could have actually done something cool. And you know what I mean? They had Maggie looking for signs of Glenn. It would have been cool maybe if she saw a false sign that wasn't him. You know what I mean? Or like there was so much more they could have done with this episode. I like it. It's not the worst episode they've ever done, but it's I think that they could have stepped it up too.
I totally agree with you. My problem with this particular episode is that it was predictable. I mean, everybody knew he's not going to be dead.
Right.
Because the way they just milked it for, 4 episodes?
Mm-hmm.
And to tell you the truth, we're going to be here every week anyway. So it wasn't like you gained more fans doing that.
Well, I understand what they were doing. They wanted people to understand the fear of loss in this world and how tragic. Like, literally, anytime somebody leaves the gates, I mean, who knows what's going to happen? You know what I mean? So, and just like it happens, like a lot of people, like that guy David, the one that Glenn found with his eye stuck to the...
Ooh, that was pretty cool.
That was pretty cool, but and not a good way to go. But I mean, that guy didn't know he wasn't coming back that day. You know what I mean? I thought it was interesting too that they showed the note on the ground. I'm like, don't even bother, man. It's too late.
That's messed up because the wife is dead. Also,
wife's dead. No, ain't nobody to get it. No one to send it
just
anymore.
screw it, Dad. You're done.
Over.
You're all done.
But what do you think about Glenn going back for Enid? Do you think? I mean, especially when she kind of showed she didn't want to be saved. Do you think he should?
I was a little confused on that whole point. Well, what was the whole point? Just because his wife would want him to do that shit? I think his wife just wanted your ass home, and you put yourself at risk with this bastard right here. Because obviously,
for somebody that's showing that she has no interest in going with you, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like I can understand him trying, like going, "Oh man, thanks for the water," and you know what I mean? You helped me out when I needed you, and I'd like to help you out. Come with me, and we'll make it back to town. And she says, "No, I don't want to go back to town." I'd be like, "Okay, you made your choice. Bye."
Exactly. Yeah, just move forward, buddy. Just move forward.
Yeah, I wouldn't be. And the thing, it was kind of, you know, after school special with his, you got to do the right thing because the right thing is right, and you want to be right. Don't you want to be?
Well, yeah, I guess so.
It just got annoying. It was fine the first time, but by the third time he gave that speech, I was a little tired of it.
Like, I don't need this bullshit.
Yeah, don't really care anymore. But I liked how Enid was talking shit. Oh, would your wife not want me to have killed that walker? You know what I mean? Like she had complete disdain for what Glenn was about.
She was a little irritated. A little irritated.
You know, she's been through it all. And Glenn has too, but she's been through something that to her she's like, look, anytime I get with people, something's bad's going to happen. I'm just going to end up losing them anyway, and I don't want to go through it anymore.
Exactly.
You know, and that's her point of view, I think.
Yeah, well, it's definitely a decent episode. I mean, I'm not expecting to be like star caliber like this is all epic.
Well, they did a lot of things though. I mean, they got the little gun training with Rick and his.
I'm telling you, man, that's going to lead up to some shit.
Yeah, Ron is not happy about Carl's little commentary during weapons training. Yeah, I've had enough of you, dude.
Well, he's definitely up to something, but this whole thing was like he's so eager to get the fucking bullets. Come on, man, that would raise some flags with me at least. Like, you know what, dude, you're just a little too eager. Fuck that, you ain't learning shit.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? Like I think that Rick needs a little Yoda in him. You know, he needs a little Morgan in him. And hey, what about Morgan and Not a Doctor, man? I know Not a Doctor's kind of into Tara, but I don't know. What do you think?
I think it's so stereotyped. Big white girl, black guy. Come on. There's nothing original here. Come on, man.
But I love him testing her knowledge and, you know, all that stuff that he was, you know, he's trying to show her, look, you can do this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, and then asking her to treat the enemy. Like, they haven't even got into that. When she sees that he's got a wolf, like, come on, what would your reaction be? Even with the Hippocratic Oath, wouldn't you be like, you know what, we just better kill this dude. There's no use for this guy.
I don't understand what Morgan's doing with that shit, man.
Yeah, he's already seen it didn't work once. You know what I mean? He almost cost Rick his life. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And now he's like, no, let me take that chance one more time. We're not done taking that chance yet.
We're not done.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
And Morgan, you can see, like, I like that little bit between Rick, Michonne, and Morgan where they're talking, and you can see that Morgan's struggling with Eastman's lessons versus the world's reality. You know,
yeah,
but
it is a struggle, but it's like it's the reality of it all. Like, dude, man,
there's certain things you have to accept, and it's like as much as the all life, you know, is valuable type of thing. That makes sense, but there's certain times where you have to put more value on certain lives than others.
I think Rick was trying to put that to him, like, hey, man, you think you can live this way in this world, the way you just walk in the path kind of bullshit? Yeah. You can't. And I think Rick is getting a little too hardcore. Like, he's even, like, questioning what people are doing now. Like, fuck these people. Like, dude, you would be dead if it wasn't for these people. I mean, honestly,
true.
You know, if you think about it, they didn't have to let your ass in.
Their group was ready to break on the outside world. They needed this respite. And
Michonne mentioned that. She said, we need this break, dude. We've been out there too fucking long.
They really did, too, because they were, you know, you can't just go full tilt like that forever. You're gonna fall apart. And so now they've got this place, and you're right. Like, he yelled out to Tara, "What are you doing? Why are you risking your life for these people?" You know what I mean? And just how harsh that is. But again, it's back to that reality. Like, how much value do you put on the new people versus yourselves?
Well, I'm glad you brought up Tara because, man, she's very pregnant in this episode, and ooh boy, ooh.
She's pregnant in this episode?
Oh, in real life, she's pregnant.
Oh, is she? I didn't know.
Oh, I know.
Oh, okay. Well, congratulations on the actress that plays Tara. And apparently, I don't think Eugene is going to be getting none of the Rosita tang.
Oh no, you blew that.
Well, you totally blew that. But now, come on, that was a brother and sister relationship in that courtyard, wasn't it?
A little bit.
That was siblings right there. Which is just like, are you going to be afraid all your life, or can I get on with my goddamn lesson? You know what I mean? That was a sister talking to her brother. That was not any way that they're ever going to hook up. He has been 100% friend zoned, and he will never get out of the friend zone.
I could have told you that from the very beginning. He had no chance.
I knew he had no chance, but I was rooting for him anyway. It's The Walking Dead. How much choices does she have?
Yeah, well, Carl's available.
Yeah, Carl's available. The dude that she was flirting with almost fell into the zombies, at the end of the episode.
Yeah,
what the hell was he thinking?
I should have left his ass.
Yeah, and here's something. I was thinking, if anybody was going to take that kind of a risk to get the zombies away, it should have been Aaron. Because Aaron, it was his photographs that kind of led the wolves there, which screwed up the plan in the first place. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that they should have had him taking the chance, sort of as I got to do something. Look what I caused. It doesn't make quite as much sense. I understand he's trying to be heroic and step up to the plate, but I don't think that it was proper for what's her name's son. I can't even think. Spencer is his name. For him to be, become the dangling dinner over the zombies there.
Well, the whole point was that I just felt that. Rick I think he's losing it again, as far as he just doesn't think the way that he used to. Now it's just me, and fuck everybody else.
Yeah, he's like Gennardino was saying recently that he has become he's become Shane basically, but now I think he's going past Shane. He's becoming more extreme than Shane.
I don't know, but Shane killed motherfuckers though. Yeah, keep that in mind.
So is Rick. I mean, not people necessarily. He hasn't killed strategically like the Otis or stuff like that. But Rick is. I mean, he's 1 inch away from that. You know, so maybe he hasn't passed him, but he's right up there at the line.
Well, we'll see. Well, here we go. When I saw that building starting to crack a little bit, there's how they're going to. Get it.
There's the big cliffhanger for the end of the season. The zombies rushing in, of course. That was definitely and I like the fact that as that was sort of happening, that's when Governor Lady brought Michonne the plans. Here's what the community. Here's where you plant the vegetables, and here's where you're gonna bury the people, and there's all these places. And too little, too late. I don't think they're going to be there much longer. They're definitely not going to be there in the second half of the season.
No, they're not.
Yeah, it can't be, and that's good. Like, I think they dragged on a little too long at the prison, so it's good. I'm glad that they're kind of bringing it to a head so quickly. I think that was appropriate. Going back to the Morgan, Rick, and Michonne thing, do you really think? Let's forget about zombies. Let's forget about that would be just a zombie world, but the apocalypse in general, society collapses. Do you think there's any way to survive without getting blood on your hands?
No, absolutely not. There's no way. Because one, you got to keep in mind, you're going to have people try to go after what you have, and then you have to defend yourself from the zombies, of course. But there are also going to be people, the show is pretty much covering exactly how I think the world would react to this shit.
Yeah,
you're going to have your good groups, you're going to have your bad groups. I would be not just, I'm not scared of anybody, but I could get with a group. I think they're really cool, and the next thing you know, my neck is slit.
Yeah.
Because hey, I got 3 women in my group or whatever. You know what I'm trying to say? Or I got
absolutely.
food.
And it's funny because even now with our society, we need laws to keep, because people do want your stuff. You know what I mean? Even without it being that dire straits kind of situation. Mm-hmm. So we need laws and authority and all these things to be in place in order to minimize it. We can't even eliminate it. We've never even figured out how to eliminate crime and murder and all that stuff. But we can minimize it in society. So I agree with you 100%. Once society breaks down, there is absolutely no way of surviving without having a certain amount of blood on your hands just to be able to uphold your own boundaries, your own world. You know what I mean? Because people are going to be trying to get in every day. You know, every chance they get, there's going to be somebody at your...
Yeah. Now, also think about this. What all of a sudden today was the last zombie apocalypse? Next thing, it's done. It's over. You know, all of a sudden you see military flying over. So everybody's okay now. Like, how does the world recover from that?
Well, it's a long, slow process.
You know, I mean, is it going to be martial law? I mean, I was just thinking about that.
Yeah, we're back at the creation of this country at that point. I mean, where they're literally setting up brand new... They can't even just say, hey, we're just going to rebuild the system we had. We literally need to start from scratch. Even if we rebuild it, we need to put everything in place one step at a time, just like they did when this place was founded. So...
It's interesting. I just thought about that during this episode. It's a crazy situation, man.
You know, and at that point, what does that do to the world's borders? You know what I mean? A lot would have changed. Which, that's interesting. That would be a great series. If somebody wants to do something about the zombie apocalypse, let's do what's after the zombie apocalypse. What happens the day it ends?
The Walking Dead, the next generation.
You know, yeah, that would be, and you couldn't do a series. I don't think a series would be appropriate, but a mini series, like a little 5-episode bam kind of thing.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned that because, real quick, just to change the subject a little bit about the show. I actually experienced The Walking Dead with the commercials and seeing it on AMC because, I mean, I get it online. Doesn't even matter. We'll change it, whatever. Right. But, oh my goodness, the stuff they put on the show, they actually show... that Airplane series, the one that's on during the Fear the Walking Dead, during one of the commercial breaks, they show a segment of that series during The Walking Dead.
And it's probably not even the first clip. It's like right in the middle, so it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it's in part 7. It's just freaking like a minute long. Like, okay, but everything about Walking Dead games, you know, just
Walking Dead, the blow up doll, they got it all, man. It's
yes, you know, just get the Walking Dead tampons.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
It's just like it's insane of how much they. I mean, AMC is whoring their show, and I would too with everything they can. You got to keep it for an hour. You're a fan of The Walking Dead. They're gonna sell anything that's Walking Dead during that show.
Absolutely, and you got to look at it this way. They're coming up with their own advertising. Because here's a question. I didn't watch it online. When you watch it on regular TV, you see regular TV commercials. But when you watch online, do you only get stuff for AMC?
It's no. Here's an example. They showed a contest for the War of the Planet of the Apes, which comes out next year. In a contest, they show like maybe a little behind the scenes of the War of the Planet of the Apes. Wow. And that was a big deal last night because they know there's an audience. I mean, they got like 16 million people watching this show every Sunday.
But are they also trying to sell you, say, an automobile and toothpaste?
Yeah, they have the regular stuff. They got
so they even got that. So not only is it the regular stuff you'd get on television, but it's all the Whoredom stuff that you get from AMC as well. That's beautiful.
Yeah. But I'm going back to getting watching and streaming online. I just can't. I'm never doing that again.
Yeah, it's a little rough.
And another thing, I have to bitch about this because I have to, is they have this thing called Story Sync, where the idea of it is to watch The Walking Dead and answer questions while the show's being played. But maybe because I'm on a delay with watching on Sling, which the delay is maybe a minute or two because like they would show the scene on the computer before it happened on the screen. So
it's a spoiler app is what it is.
Well, I really think maybe because it's on Sling, there may be a delay. I don't know.
Right, that'd be interesting.
But the fact that we were watching it live, I'm pretty sure they try and time it, but it was like a whole minute. And also
that's interesting. So that app really only works. That thing only works if you're watching on the East Coast feed. Otherwise, you're out of luck completely, right?
That is true.
That's hilarious. Yeah. That's so funny.
Yeah.
Once again, the West Coast is screwed out of a good deal.
Well, I always hate being on
I don't
the West
need
Coast.
A companion to watch a show, though. I don't need a show going, hey, you know what just happened?
Well, although here's a quick story. I don't know if I told you this, but it's a little bit off subject of The Walking Dead, but real quick. being on the West Coast, there was a show that I really loved was Saturday Night Live, right? Which is a show
I've heard of
live.
it.
I already know the West Coast is always a repeat. I don't think they did it live twice. It'll be too
Yeah,
late.
they didn't.
They didn't.
No,
so.
we got a lot. We got the repeated.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, yeah, they'd be doing it at 2:00 in the morning.
Yeah. So I remember I was all excited going to the West Coast to see my aunt in Washington, D.C. He said, yes, I can see Saturday Night Live live. We've really seen it live. And, of course, that week was a repeat. But, yeah, the same thing goes with online. Everything is geared towards. But I really think now, because the internet is making the world so much smaller, they try not to put a lot of stuff until it actually airs on the West Coast, at least on the website.
Right.
So I don't know about this Story Sync. I don't know. I mean, I'm pretty sure.
No, I think the Story Sync runs, though, because they want it for the East Coast people.
Uh-huh.
But I don't think it resets. I mean, again, I've never really messed with it, so I don't know. But from what I understand, I don't believe it resets for the West Coast or the Midwest or any of that.
We'll think about this for a minute. I see it repeating because, I mean, only an idiot would want to see that Story Sync before they see the episode, because all it does is just spoil the whole freaking episode. I mean,
Pretty much, yeah.
I mean, if you want to be really ghetto about it,
especially right out of the gate, like, was the first thing that came up on there. Holy crap, Glenn's alive! Like, was that, how do they cover that stuff?
Well, it was. Are you excited or relieved? I forgot what the question was.
They had like polling and stuff.
Yeah, and like awesome. All you see is a big picture of Glenn, and like. All right. Well,
oh my God, we should sue AMC because we can't enjoy their show because we're so obsessed with the app that we can't.
Your app that you want me to watch the show spoiled it. You spoiled my life. $15 million, please. Like,
yes, I need it.
All right, but dude, again, October, I'm all happy about The Walking Dead.
Here we come on December, and boom.
And boom, once again, it just freaks and pisses me off. And a lot of people like to break, but I'm the one that does not like to break. I wish Breaking Bad never started this bullshit. And I just hate how they break it up now. It actually
started back with Lost when that was running, because they found that they were doing 24 episodes. And they just couldn't handle it, so they started doing all these weird breaks, and people started getting pissed off because they're like, we never know when the hell a new show's going to be. And people were tuning in to catch the new one. They'd find it was a repeat for 2 or 3 weeks in a row, and it was driving everybody crazy. So the funny thing is that in a weird way, Breaking Bad perfected what Lost could never quite get a hold of, get a handle on.
Now, I remember Vince Gilliam said, well, it gives the writers a chance to really harden the story and make it well. I said, well, you have a freaking year to do that shit.
The thing is that you kind of, as the story's kind of coming out, I don't know what I'm talking about.
Well, you see,
you're right.
It's so funny because I went through what you went through with Lost. I mean, you were waiting for the breaks and blah, 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 and then, I just watched it all at once and boom. With me, with Breaking Bad, I had to wait, the year. I had to fucking wait a year for the next season.
And you only get like a dozen episodes.
Yeah, and then they break it up, and this just drive me crazy because I was addicted to that show. You know how I was back then.
Oh, completely.
I was freaking nuts from Breaking Bad. And that's the same thing I had with Walking Dead. Like, here we go again. Next week's the last episode of freaking February. It makes my year, the fall season go quickly. I love it because now it's already December, but then... Oh, dude, we're going to have the same conversation on the episode 16. Like, damn, we got to wait till freaking October. Again. It's just...
It's a constant battle. Yep. Well, how about this? There was an announcement yesterday that second season of Fear of the Walking Dead will not be the 13 episodes they planned. They're now only doing 10.
Oh,
that's not a good sign.
That's not a good sign at all. What does that tell you, people? They didn't
people
listen
were
to our
having
podcast.
a bad reaction. Yeah, people. Well, it's not us. I don't think. I hope it is, but I think people really did have a bad reaction to the way they handled it.
And they answered. They did. I mean, they had a chance to fix it. They could have called us. We had great ideas, but
nothing once. No Gale Ann Hurd. No Greg Nicotero. Where are you guys? We're here for you.
So cutting down 4 episodes. 3 episodes. Or was it 2? You said 13 down to 10?
It was going to be 13, now it's 10, so they took out 3.
All right, so either they realize that we don't have enough fluff, or maybe we got too much fluff.
Yeah, we can't handle the schedule.
Yeah, or we need to make the story a little more intense, or we got to fix this shit.
Exactly.
That's not a good sign, because I guarantee you that they're not going to greenlight the season 3 until at least maybe 3-4 weeks into the new season, see how people are reacting to it.
Exactly.
Because if they do the freaking Love Boat on the zombies on a boat, they're gonna have problems.
Yep.
there's only so much you can freaking do. They're going to harpoon zombies that they're approaching the boat.
Well, they can, you know, to me, I'm tired of Alexandria already, and that's a town. How exciting is a boat going to be more than one episode? It's going to be old really fast.
Yeah, well, here's the thing with Walking Dead. They're milking it a little bit. You know, I mean, they're stretching this season out when they don't have to.
That's true.
Okay, and that's
which is why I'm sick. Maybe that's why I'm sick of Alexandria, is because I've been seeing the same stuff of it over and over again in a way, you know. So,
yeah. But you know, definitely they are taking some liberties being the TV show. I have a feeling what's going to happen in the last episode, definitely with Negan coming in the picture. I know he's going to be in the last episode.
The last episode of the season, or tomorrow, or next week?
No. I'm not the mid-season. I'm talking about he is going to be the big cliffhanger.
16. Yeah.
In season
6, the very end of season.
There's going to be a what the fuck moment in that episode.
I hope so. That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah, well, you're going to get it. I mean,
and I think we're going to get one next week. I think there's going to be a big smack in the face to us next week.
Oh, there is. It's dude, I wanted to say it right now so I can have it on audio, but I don't want to, you know, because it's from the book. It has to be from the comic book.
No. Here's what I'm thinking is that since Glenn survived,
yeah,
we have to have a major loss. There has to be something to balance the Glenn survival out. What if Maggie dies?
You know what? I'm glad you mentioned that, because I want to say right now in mid-season, right now, is I'm hoping that she's the one that gets taken out in the season finale.
That would be a different. I certainly wouldn't see it coming, even though we're predicting it. I would be surprised.
I'm betting the farm that's what they're going to do. Because they're not going to have 2 fucking people with babies in this series, all right? I'm sorry.
If you want to put up your farm against his farm, you can contact Anthony and see if you beat him.
If I have to go buy a farm, I'm telling you, because think about this, man. How fucking depressing was it with Lori's pregnancy?
How would you be coming walking into your wife? I lost the farm. We don't have a farm. I know I got to get one. I'm sorry, man. What was it about Lori?
Come on, remember she was pregnant and deal with a baby and all that kind of stuff, and they're not going to do that again.
No, I don't think so.
It wouldn't make sense to do another pregnancy and all that bullshit. And no, she's got to go. And the baby. Yeah. All that got to go. That's me, head writer for Walking Dead. Fuck you guys. That's what we're going to write. Make that shit. Piss these people off. They expect that.
It certainly would. And that's the thing, is that here's this moment of joy, and there can be no joy in Zombie Town. That's what we found.
And you need something, I mean, not as up there with, what was the little girl who got killed in the barn?
Sophia.
Sophia. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, we all expected it, but it totally caught us off guard. It caught me off guard.
Well, the funny thing is, we kind of knew it the whole way through that she was in there. She had to be in there.
Yeah.
You know
it was just, but it still was like the way that everybody felt. They're all shocked by the reality of it all. That sucks.
And especially for the Walking Dead fans, to the people that were watching the show who hadn't read the comics, like myself, that was like, for television, that was unheard of. You know what I mean? To go that kind of route, and it was like, damn, dude.
It was all intense scene. It was intense. The whole thing.
And it's funny because it was even more impactful than Rick in the very first episode shooting the little zombie girl.
Yeah.
Because nobody knew who she was. You didn't have any. You felt sorry for her, but you didn't care about her, type of thing. With Sophia, you got to actually care, and you got to see Daryl's concern and everybody's concern, and that makes you care more.
Well, the difference between the little girl in the very first episode and Sophia is that it was setting the tone like, yeah, he just shot a little girl, but she was a zombie. This is the reality of this world. I mean, it was just we're not going to hold back in this show. That's what I got from that.
No, absolutely. I understand the storytelling reason for it, but I'm just saying from harshness to harshness that there is a difference between the one that you just kind of see and, it's sad and it's, your heart goes out to this little girl, but at the same time, when it was Sophia, it was like, that was our little girl, that was the audience's family right there that was taken out. And that's different.
Yeah, it definitely, because you've grown to know those characters, and then also she's gone, like, I love how that very quickly we lost her in the very first episode of season 3.
Yeah, they were not fooling around.
Yeah, right from the get-go.
Season 2.
Was it 2? Yeah, because it's farm. Yeah. Anyway.
everything up to this point has been exactly what we want. We want a kick in the balls. We want it to be intense. Yeah, could they've done better with the Glenn thing? Probably, but I'm going to give them a pass just by the fact of how long they let everybody hang. I love that they tortured their audience by just going, we're not even going to let you know. You don't deserve to know yet.
Yeah.
You know? And then, boom, when you find out, yeah... the thing is that I don't think they needed to go for the pleasing Ross kind of answer, because the majority of people were just so happy to see Glenn alive that they were willing to accept whatever the hell he said, whatever they did.
And I think our expectation is a little higher because one is being
I'm a pain in the ass.
No, you gotta keep in mind also. See, we're in the industry. We want to entertain people, and when we see the same thing regurgitated or not challenging, because it was a typical cliffhanger from the old serials back in the day, you know, and you want something to be, come on, don't do underneath the garbage can. You know, I've been pretty cool if that chick came through with a freaking tractor and just knocked out all those bastards. I don't know, just with an RV,
something, anything.
Just something just to like change it up a little bit. I don't know, but the thing is that it's they call it, maybe even call it trying, but they're very good at like you said, milking it for freaking 4 episodes, which
Absolutely.
I love it. I was down to, it could have been to the next season for all I care.
Absolutely. They could have never, we've talked about it before, they could have never resolved the Glenn story, and I would have been fine with that.
Yeah.
Because that's the real reality of the way the world works.
Yeah, and it'd be cool because every so often you'd see, like, Maggie looking out the window, like, always, is he ever going to make it back? I mean, to a point, you're going to stop. You got to let that shit go.
And it would have given them the reason to let her go through the pregnancy, because having that baby would have been Glenn's, legacy kind of thing, and it would have given the audience something totally fresh with this new birth, that it would have had more meaning. Now that Glenn's alive, you're right, they absolutely don't need it, and for her to survive through to the pregnancy would sort of be, it wouldn't help the story. It wouldn't do anything to benefit the story itself.
Yeah. And the thing is also, Glenn dying, then Maggie lost everybody. I mean, it's just, from a point of view of a writer, it would just point towards Daryl or Maggie to be taken out.
Yeah.
Those are the most expendable characters in here. Carol's too smart to get killed because that woman is just crazy. I mean, not crazy, but she's on point.
Yeah, she's ahead of the game. It's not that she's crazy. Well, maybe she is, but she's seeing everybody's actions before they start doing it. Like, she knew that there was something up with Morgan before there was any sign that there was something up with Morgan.
So she just looked up like a cat, like, what the fuck?
What's happening? What? Here's the baby. Go ahead and take him. I got to get out of here. And boy, how hard was she with little Sam, the little brother for Ron.
Yeah.
The kid that won't come downstairs. And she's just like, the kid's like, well, do you become the monsters? She's like, no, you kill so you don't become the monsters. And I love that Carol's that hardcore. Carol's not going to pull the punches. And honestly, anybody that tells the kids anything different than what they really have to do to survive in this world, you're doing them a disservice.
Yeah, and Carol's arc has changed so much. Just watch any of the first season of her character.
She's like a little mouse.
She is nothing like that anymore. Only
thing
is the hair is still the same, but the attitude is completely different.
Yep.
She's kind of hot now. I'm sorry.
I love a woman that takes charge, man. And she's got a lot of control and power. She knows what she needs to do, and the same thing. Like this goes back to when she was in season 4 in the prison. She's teaching these kids that she didn't even know, the ones from Woodbury. And she's like, look, you guys need to know to defend yourselves. You need to know how to use a knife. You need to understand that there's times where you need to kill. And that's the truth. And if you don't accept that, just like Morgan's having the trouble right now, if you don't accept it, you're going to end up in a real bad world,
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, I think we've covered it all. This has been a good episode. I really enjoyed this week. Like, I don't know if it came across that way, but I did absolutely enjoy this episode. I have my little nitpicks, but that's more just me, and I'm dealing with that. So, anyway, that's it. That's just some nonsensical ramblings by Ross here. You can reach me if you want more of it at Punctual Pothead on Twitter. I'll give you 170 character ramblings.
You can find me. I'm online. Just comic Tony Lamar. You can Google me. I'm out there, people.
He's way out there.
I'm out there.
Yeah. Bye, everyone.
All right, check us out, people.
Bye.